She made this t-shirt that says, I heart you.
This is what we getting into tonight, y'all. Now, the reason why I wanted to go straight into this chord is because this was a card I was working with, and it was showing me some things. Cause Hangman is about sacrifice and surrender, and usually what comes with sacrifice is the majority sometimes think you have to self-sacrifice, meaning like you become some type of martyr or something, but that's far from the truth. There's so much more to this card right here, because this is the card that's gonna, like, you know how we talked about tarot being in phases, and the last time we talked about it, we was talking about it in the second phase, because we're still in the second phase, but we're getting ready to be ushered into the third phase if you on this journey. So now the third phase, it starts when, you know, the devil card shows up, which is not a bad card neither. This card is mostly based on transformation, because as you can see, the tree that the hangman is hanging from is like a form of tree of wisdom, or you could look at it like it's the tree of life. But what it really is supposed to be symbolized is the Ankh. But the bottom half of the Ankh, the tall part of the Ankh, T-A-U, that's a Hebrew word. And like if you were looking at it from the perspective of tarot alone, then you would see that he's hanging on, which will represent a wand, but it's in the form of a tree. And there's so many ways you can look at this, but that's just a little bit going forward into this card. But we about to really get into it, except this time we not gonna get into the details. I'm gonna come back and do the details. I'm gonna just stick with the basics of the card as far as dealing with what it means, give you a background of it, and what it means in the upright and the reverse, because it's kind of late over here, and I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Now, I had took down some notes as I was working with this card, because, you know, I did my research to confirm the things that was coming up for me when I was meditating on this card. Because, you know, research is always good when you want to confirm what comes up for you before you start, you know, studying. See if you align. So, now, I also discovered that the hangman is about, you know, like the fool following the group. Like, okay, because, you know, before the fool went on the journey, when he wasn't looked at as a fool per se, let's say that he was, you know, in society, he had a social life, and, you know, later on when he awakened from that social life, he saw some things about himself that he wanted to change, because he did not feel like he was being himself. He felt like he was being what everybody demanded of him or expected of him, and this is what this is about. Because most people look at this card as if it's just built on delays, and, you know, like, or as far as dealing with a relationship, stalemate or something like that, because I hear that a lot when it comes to this card. But that's not it could be part way there, but there's more to it, is what I'm trying to say. So let's get into the notes. Okay, so what I wrote for my notes is, if one stopped looking for answers and simply surrender and accept his current state or predicament, then yeah, he'll be able to make the changes he needs to make. What I'm saying is, being in this position, as you can see his face, he's in a calm state. He also have, the ring around him, the sun, and he's in the center of that ring of the sun. The ring of the light center, whatever you want to say or look, how you want to look at it. That lets me know that he's in a meditation state and he's coming to acceptance of his predicament. It's like, when you meditate on things and contemplate long enough, you will start to see why you will want to accept the things that are happening, not to you, but through you. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, like, you so used to following the crowd and stuff, and then you stop to think that, dang, once you get a chance to meditate, I really haven't been making my own decisions. I have been letting people influence me on how to think and how to go about making my own decisions. Because when you get to the point in your life where you always asking people, and it start with the simple shit, like y'all getting dressed and you like, well, how you think this look? Do this look alright? How my hair look? Do that look alright? That stuff right there. Like, it's not about what the next person, like, you have to detach from the opinions of others, and you have to come to accept how you feel about things that you do in your life over how people feel. And I'm not saying that as in be selfish to other people's, feelings, because that's not what I mean. What I mean is, you really don't need to be validated by others. You can validate yourself. And like, in the past, far beyond the past, because I learned this a long time ago. I've been a lone wolf for a long time. So, and what I learned is, if I like it, I love it, then I like it and I love it. And I'm not going to let nobody change my likes or my loves about myself. But anyway, that's another topic for another time and another day. But for now, this is kind of what this card is leaning into. Okay? So now, my second part of my notes is that I put, this is your chance to gain a new perspective by hanging upside down to be set free. You must give up previous life, far as example, if you was a follower, always getting secondhand advice and not using your own mind. Well, I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, a lot of people get a secondhand advice, and they so used to doing it, it becomes first nature to them, when what should become first nature to you is what you think. Because it's your life. It's your life, it's your aesthetic, it's your look, it's your spirit, it's your feelings, That should come first nature and first, not second nature. And a lot of people find they start putting other people's opinion first nature, and that's not cool. But it doesn't take away the fact that, it's okay to get advice from people like your elders and things of that nature, but also you have to have a mind to know whether it's good for you or not, because that's the part that people be missing too. A lot of people, are not confident in what's good for them because they haven't sat down and got a chance to get to know themselves. And look, man, like, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And this ain't to say shut people completely down and like don't have a connection, because that's not what I'm saying. But take it how you see fit. All right, so or your own intuition, not having trust in oneself. Let me go back and read that last sentence. I said, for example, if you was a follower and always getting secondhand advice and not using your own mind or your own intuition, not having trust in oneself, quick to follow the crowd, afraid to be alone with self in solitude. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, you have not experienced life. If you had to, I don't know. For me, I feel like people don't experience life if they can't even sit in solitude and meditate and make space for themselves to get to know themselves properly. Because it's like once you do that part, then everything becomes at ease. Like the life around you becomes at ease, because at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about nothing, practically. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not that attached. You're not that attached to where you go start being affected. And it's like, not to the point, because you could be over just attached and become numb to things. And that's not good neither. And like I said, I'm an advocate for balance. Do things in moderation and balance, and you'll see what I mean. But like I said, that's only if you're on a journey, or if you ever come through here and learn this stuff. But if not, that's on you. Cool beans. But I'm putting it out there anyway, just in case. Alright, so the third set of notes I put was, or separating from material red to gain spiritual wisdom until you can be completely balanced and harmonized in the two, instead of being overly shadowed by one or the other. This signifies the start of the journey into the subconscious or the unconscious, the third phase. Talking about the third phase, because it's getting you ready for the third phase, which is basically in phase 3. Matter of fact, do I got it down here? No, I don't. I'll when we go into the details of the card next time, we gonna go into phase 3, so you can see what I'm talking about for phase 3 of the tarot journey. Okay, so, but anyways, or the third phase, or like the Kabbalah Tree of Life, Thoth. This is the chance to bring you into the new year with a new you, because March is the real new year. It's not January, it's March, because that's when spring, that's when everything sprouts out new, in my book anyway. But I know I'm not alone on this neither, so. But I consider March as spring, or the new year, because of spring. And when I said like the tree of life that's in the Kabbalah, meaning you have reached the Seraphoth Thoth, Daath, meaning when you get into this mode, the Hangman, it's like another mode for Hermit mode, except now you going into the void section of it. Because with the Hermit, you just observing, you meditating and you being the observer. But this is like Hermit mode on steroids. You basically, like, you dealing with the shadows now, like you're really dealing with the shadow self. But you're not dealing with the shadow self to get rid of anything. You are dealing with it to embrace it and accept it, because you can't have one without the other. Because you could be overly one and be overshadowed by the other. You know what I'm saying? Or, like the balance you're supposed to have when you are basically doing chakra work. Like, You can be hyperactive, or you can be under the radar of being active at all. So now, what I mean by embracing your shadows is just, embracing them parts that's going to help motivate you to move, to, get motion. Not, like embrace the parts that's going to have you edgy and flying off the handle, because when you on this journey, you go see how to be able to control how you react and respond to situations, because that's the only control you really need to be worried about. Like I said in the Wheel of Fortune card, the last video I did, you know what I mean? Like, don't be hell bent on, trying to control what's on the other side of the situation. That's not none of your business. What's your business is how you react and respond to the things that are going on in your life. And try not to look at it as if life is happening to you. Look at it as if it's happening, but it's just happening through you, and you just the observer, and you dealing with it as it comes, because it's easier to do it that way. But, at least that's how it works for me. Now, we gonna get into the book and what the book has to say about the upright and the reverse. I just wanted to share my notes with you first. Alright. So, what the book says, it says, in a reading, the hangman bears the message of independence, like the fool, which signifies doing what you sense was best, even if other people thought it was foolish, Because, it's always somebody that got an opinion. An opinion is like assholes, and everybody have one. But at this point, you just focus. Because that's good. To prove that you just focus, look at the person's face on here. And look at all of that light. And look how he is like perfectly in the center of it. He just focused. So you just focus. Alright, so which signified doing what you sense was best, even if other I already read that. Okay, the hangman indicates being who you are, even if other people think you have everything backwards. So, just like they say in the beginning with the fool. And I did do the video on the fool card, but I took it down because, it was outdated information to me. I feel like I need to redo that card and update the information on there. Because, as these shifts keep hanging, because I'm thinking about this hangman. Okay, as these shifts keep happening, things keep evolving. So I need to upgrade that video. Okay, so be on the lookout for the fool card. I was about to say the foolish card. But anyways, be on the lookout for that, because it's an updated version coming out by me. Alright, so it symbolizes the feeling of being deeply connected to life, and can mean a peace that comes after some difficult trial. Because like I said, this card ain't just about delays and, all that negative stuff. It ain't about delays or you dealing with a stalemate. It ain't about none of that. And even if it is, that's just one aspect of it. Because many things, that's why I like dealing with symbolism. Because the symbolisms will let you know that it's more to the story. There's always more to the story when it comes to looking at a picture. That's why I like looking at the pictures and art galleries and things like that, because everything has a story. And not everybody go see, the same story. So, and that's what makes this interesting. This is what makes it unique. It symbolizes the planet of Uranus, because Uranus is about individualism and being unique. That's why I like Uranus. But what was the other thing I was gonna say about it before I went into the reverse? I don't know, it'll come back to me. And if it don't, it will be popping up on the screen any minute now. But anyways, The card reverse also means fighting your inner self. Oh no, I skipped the whole beat. Let's go back. The Trump reverse indicates an inability to get free from social pressure. Yeah, like I was saying earlier. Rather than listen to our inner selves, we do what others expect or demand of us. Our awareness of life always remains second-handed, never a direct experience, but only a series of stereotypes, like the person who models his or her behavior after the orders of parents or movie stars. Yeah. And see, like, I think that was one of the reasons I was a loner early on in life, because I went through the hangman experience in I want to say my teenage going into early adult years, because right, like I said, right now I'm 45, which is aka Divine 9. But anyways, when I was younger, like, I guess I just didn't sit well with a lot of people, because I was kind of, I ain't gonna say rebellious in a bad way, but I was just like, I'm gonna be myself. Like, and I always was myself. So, and it was like, as I got older, I'm like, I really was myself all this time. And I'm gonna keep being myself, because I love myself. And, it should be that way for you too. Love yourself, man. Like, I wouldn't care if you came outside with a sweatsuit on and some dingy socks and some sandals. Nigga, if you love it, love it. That's you. That's your business. And like I said, it ain't even about aesthetics. It's like, what's your spirit? Like, can you make your spirit your own, or do it have to be like everybody else's? I don't know. Like, that part I don't know, but all I know is how to be authentic and be me, and like, I be seeing a lot of stuff. But anyways, the hangman also in reverse could mean, the card reverse also means fighting your inner self in some way. It can mean the person who tries to deny some basic part of himself, or simply the person who cannot accept reality, or who in some way or other is constantly battling life. Yeah, because let me be the first to say, even though I was being myself all this time, I still had a battle in life, because because society has taught that if this slew of people say the same thing towards you, then it must be true. And I did a video on it early on too. It was the negative and positive treatments, and I'm gonna repost that video up, because I had took it down too around the time when I was going through a lot, and I wanted to give my channel a break. So, but yeah, I went into detail about that video too, and I will repost it so you see what I was talking about. But I was battling myself too, because not because I didn't know how to be myself, because I was taught that somebody had to validate what the fuck I'm doing or saying. And no, the fuck they don't. I have to validate what the fuck I'm doing and saying. Excuse my language, but this definitely ain't gonna be for children. Well, none of my videos is really for children, but the point is, long as you validating what you're doing, that's what it's about. It ain't about everybody else. It's about you. So, and just as soon as you learn how to accept that, then everything else will align with what you're doing. So now, let me see, where's the rest of it? Okay. But putting his or her, wait a minute, yeah. But putting his or her ego against the world, this person too never fully experienced life. None of us can know the full meaning of being alive until, like Odin, we hang ourselves on a world tree. Its roots deep beyond knowledge in a sea of experience. Because you can't have, like I said, for what video was that? The Empress video. You can't have knowledge without wisdom. You can't have the feminine without the masculine. They go hand in hand, and it comes with a balance, a scale. And you have to be balanced in this. And you have, if you are speaking knowledge, you have to apply it with wisdom. So, but that's another topic for another time. But if you want to check out the Empress video and see where I was going with that information is in there too. Its branches lost among the endless stars. Yeah, because as you can see, there's a mirroring happening here. As above, so below. Except he's headed down into the water, where the waters is, because there's waters up under him. And the waters is just like the cosmos. Everything is mirroring each other to a certain degree. So, as above, so below. As within, so without. Now, but we gonna stop there and continue next time.
Everybody can go, though, beat it.